What's up, everyone? This is DyanaRozay. Welcome to my channel. I have a juicy one for you today about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Miss Vanessa, she actually shared some of her life that went beyond the show, and it was amazing. I wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit about that. And then I have some other juicy stories that I know you guys are going to want to hear, so be sure to stick around for that. Before we get started, though, please hit the like, subscribe, and your notification bell, because that is how others find me here on YouTube. Follow me on IG, TikTok, and Facebook, because I post things over there too. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much on all of my platforms. And thank you all for coming over, watching my videos, and rocking with me, because, yeah, I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. So let's get started with the first story, which happens to be Miss Melody Sheree. You guys remember this picture, right? She gave us this picture. I think it was sometime in December, right? Around Christmas. But she let us know that she was, in love. She said manifested that thing, and it's been up ever since. Then she promoted Cloud9. And a lot of people were trying to figure out, who is Melody with? Who is she with? Well, baby, we are no closer to finding out who she's with, but we know who she is not with, okay? On Valentine's, just a couple of days ago, Melody was out with her boo thing. They had a little Valentine's trip, and she took a similar picture of him with his arm wrapped around her. Only this time, we didn't just get the hand and the arm, the wrist, right? This time we got the leg, okay? The leg and the shoe. So Melody took the extra step to say, listen, they were on a plane this time. Listen, y'all, I'm out with my man. It is what it is. Y'all can like it. You can hate it. I personally love it. Good for you. This gives people hope. Sometimes, Melody gave us her entire life on the show, right? She gave us her entire life, what was going on with her and her ex. And, it was kind of humiliating too. So to see her on the other side of this speaks volumes. I really like that we are getting just a glimpse of, her being happy and moving on. We also got her walking through the streets. We got to see his arm and his leg. And the only reason why I'm showing you guys this is because one of my subscribers sent this over to me, and they said he's not a very big guy. So based on just, his leg and his arm, a little bit of his forearm, we got to see that he's not, one of the muscular types, and his elbow. We got to see that he's not one of those muscular types. That doesn't mean he's not fit. That just means that he's not a gym junkie. And I just wanted to point that out too. So just a little clue, but at the end of the day, she's happy, and that is all that matters. So you guys, let me know what y'all think about Melody's new man. I know in her, I think it was a video where she talked about manifesting things. She said that she wanted to make sure that whoever it was fit, because she goes to the gym and she's fit. So you guys let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. And then let's talk a little bit about her mother, Miss Vanessa. Miss Vanessa was doing an interview with a YouTuber. Her channel is called Show Style and Spirit. The YouTuber's name is Ebony, and it was one of the best interviews that I have heard from Miss Vanessa yet. She talked about her life outside of the show, and she was really open in sharing it. And that was probably, it was just amazing for me. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what she said, and of course, go over and watch Show Styles and Spirit. Watch her channel for the full interview, because it was every single word that came from both her and Miss Vanessa was just eye-opening and amazing. But one of the things she talked about was her ex-husband when she was married. He had said to her that he didn't like her weight. He said, I don't like where you are with your weight. And she said she found it amazing, and she was in shock that he actually said it, because she said, I actually was smaller when he said that to me than, a year ago when we were happily, married in love. I think she said they just got married and they were happily in love. And she was like, here I am smaller, and he's making these comments about her weight. And she said when we would go out for dinner, she said she could tell that he was, really paying close attention to what she was eating and just, making her feel uncomfortable, period. So she was like, what in the hell? are you doing with whom that is, you're projecting on me? And she said, she found out that he was out there having a very good time with someone else, but that it had gotten into her psyche. She was like, I've always been a very secure woman, secure where I am. And it wasn't until she went out to dinner by herself that she was like, I'm uncomfortable. And I have let this man infiltrate me in a way that has made me insecure. And so I just thought that was really interesting that she shared that with us, because it's true for a lot of us that we let people get into our heads and, change who we are in the world. And we need to figure out how to get back there, because who we are supposed to be in the world is what God has mapped out for us. And when we get off, it's because someone has set us off, or we allowed someone to get us off track. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, because one of the things that Miss Vanessa say about Melody, where she is right now, is she was like, the person she is right now is who I always knew her to be, who her family has always known her to be, and that she seemed like she was off track when she was in her relationship, when she was with her ex. So you guys let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Another thing that she had said was that she had purchased some, I believe it's called Timberland for Melody. And she said she had not known what Timberland was until she started doing real estate. And she had purchased this. Actually, she said she purchased it for Melody and Martell, that was something that she wanted to leave behind for them and their children. That's what parents do. That's what kids do for their parents too. Sometimes you want people to have something that will benefit them later. So she said she had bought this land, and anyway, she said that she realized that the land wasn't beneficial for Mel, because that's not where she wanted to be later in life. That wasn't land that she was, wherever she purchased this land was not where she wanted to be later in life, that she had plans to buy real estate elsewhere. So Miss Vanessa ended up selling the land and giving the profits that she made from that to Melody. And she said it's been amazing to see how she used it. So again, we have conversations here on the show, on this channel, about generational wealth. We've heard Melody speak of generational wealth plenty of times, but it's just good to see it played out, whether it's all of us talking about it on YouTube or another show, or on reality TV shows that we watch. We learn to do certain things by what we see and hear people do. I know everyone want to act like they're an original with something. That's not the case. What's most often the case is that we overhear someone talking about it and say, let me look this up. And then we're like, ooh, I could do this too. So I wanted to bring that up on this channel just because, again, we want to each one teach one. So that's one of the things. And then the last thing I'm going to share is this part. Again, plenty of things was shared on from the beginning, from the first second to the end of the interview. Was amazing. But the other thing that captured my attention was that the interviewer, Ebony, asked if Miss Vanessa agreed with submissive relationships. And she had a really interesting response to that. Number one, she said the world is different. The world is different from, how her mother and her grandmother lived to what young men and women are doing today. However, she does believe that women still would like or enjoy a relationship where their man leads the household. However, it's a little harder because of things they may have seen their mother go through, their grandmother go through, or they themselves have experienced in their own homes. Perhaps they let a man lead and it was not beneficial. And so because of that, allowing themselves to be submissive or in a household where the man leads again could be, it just doesn't feel right for them anymore. So they have to, heal from that. Or it's just they don't want to do it anymore. You guys can share your own personal stories. I know a lot of you have shared them on your lives with me. But she was like, because of that, that could be a problem for women in this generation. Another thing that they both talked about, and I think it was the interviewer who led it, she said she knows that when she dates men, they would prefer for her to be submissive in the bedroom, but they want her to control all the other rooms. Go ahead and pay the mortgage in full, buy all the groceries, make all the decisions for the home. But that's the only place they prefer someone to be submissive. And Miss Vanessa agreed with that as well. And so do I. That's not my situation currently, or, with my marriage, but I have found that to be the case, that men, even though we see all this gold digger madness on, IG or whatever, rap video, that's a small percent of what people are talking about out there. But unfortunately, it blankets a whole group of women when that's not true. Black women are more degreed. We literally lead in entrepreneur in the country. We have more degrees and we own more businesses than a lot of groups, including Black men. So I just want to say that out loud. I wish that I had saw that interview when it was going live, because I would have loved to type that into the comments, okay? But you guys let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Again, this show that we've been watching that we all fell in love with, Love and Marriage Huntsville, they opened our eyes to a lot of things. So I just want to know what you guys feel. I know there is a person who always comes over to my comments saying, you guys don't appreciate men who leave the household. I think women do appreciate men who leave the household. It's just that sometimes leading the household could also mean that, and even for my grandmother's generation or generations beyond her, mean that they think they can do whatever they want to do. And if that is hurting you, then you need to figure out how to get out and be okay with yourself, because leading the household doesn't mean that you stay into some BS. Let's just put it that way. You guys let me know what y'all think about that, and let's get to the other story that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The other day, my last video actually, I had a story on Miss Monique and some things that Kim Whitley and Sheree Shepherd had said about her. What I didn't share in that video, and I should have, is that what they said was actually wrong. People were saying the things that has come on Monique has come on her because of her mouth and her actions. But I just wanted to point out, and I feel like I needed to do this, that Monique actually received justice with Netflix. So when Monique was into it about Netflix and people were saying that Monique is blackballed in Hollywood, she was blackballed at Netflix because of XYZ, she talks too much. Netflix actually settled out of court with Monique's discrimination lawsuit. They settled out of court, and the story I read from her lawyer said that she did way above and beyond what she had even expected in regards to compensation. And she also was offered a comedy show that was on her terms. So she was getting paid well from the comedy show. We haven't seen the show yet, but the beef was, over and done with Netflix. And I actually wrote about that story on my YouTube channel. If you guys missed it, or not my YouTube channel, my bad, on my website. I wrote about that on my website, and I hate that I didn't bring it up when I talked about this originally, 2 days ago. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the story, the reading that Monique is currently in, and it is a Lee Daniels film. Lee Daniels is one of the people who accused Monique of all of these horrible things. So in essence, he kind of helped with the blackballing. But the new movie that she's in is a Lee Daniels movie, which means that they came together and squashed their beef. And I did talk about that on my website as well, that Lee Daniels asked for the meeting. He apologized to her. She apologized to him. So they moved on past all of that stuff. And The Reading is an amazing movie. I think that it shows her to be so dynamic as an actress and a comedian. So I think that when Kim and Sheree Shepherd spoke on those things, they didn't speak with a full spectrum of the story, and it would have been great if they could have shared that. But since they didn't, I am. So I hope you guys appreciate that. And yeah, let's get to the next story because I thought this was cool too. You guys know Jay Boland, the stylist who collaborated with Melody on 2 fashion drops, right? Well, he was on the Today Show this morning, and he had made this post that his son, who's 15 years old, had sent over to him. And the post said, "So proud of you." That's actually his son. "So proud of you. I told you God had something coming." And Jay Boland says, "Thank you, buddy. How'd I do?" And his son responds, "You did good. You had confidence, and you had a great choice of words." And I just thought that was great that his son, you guys, had and then Jay Boland showed this picture of Anthony. I forgot his last name. I know his first name is Anthony, and him crying like his son had brought him to tears. But he said, "This is what means the world to me. My 15-year-old son telling me that he was proud." And he said that the Today Show was amazing to him. So we got to see just someone get an opportunity to shine and show themselves. You guys let me know what y'all think about all of that in the comments, please, because I thought that was great. And then you guys, last but not least, I wanted to put this video up, or this story of the 5 men who was arrested for the beating and murder of Tyre Nichols. These are the former 5, I believe it's Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols. They all pled not guilty today to second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, you guys. And I just wanted to show that because we all are waiting for something to go down with the Cabo 6, right? We're all still waiting for them to be taken, arrested. People are asking for them to be extradited. But even if they're not, the United States could still hold those people accountable for what happened in Mexico. And they have not yet. And people are trying to figure out why. I believe there was a video that was dropped maybe yesterday from Nancy Grace, and she had someone on that was an expert who was supposed to be sharing reasons why they haven't been extradited. I would really like to hear the reasons why the United States haven't moved forward with arresting them or, you know, pressing charges against them. We know that she left there in a body bag, and they're all still walking, talking, and breathing, right? So we would like answers, and I'm hoping that we can do a little bit more to put pressure on the United States in regards to this case. I forgot the man's name. I wish I would have. Let me see if I can Google it. If I can't Google it, I'm going to bring it back to you guys in another video. But there is a man, white man, who killed his children and his wife in Mexico and came back to the United States. And the Mexico government asked to extradite him. And the United States said, no, we're not going to have him extradited. We're going to charge him here, which they do a lot. That's not, you know, unusual. They do that a lot. But there is something else going down where they can't, or the United States isn't charging them there. And I don't know if it's because the evidence was so muddied in Mexico with how they, you know, went about bringing in the police, the medical team, all of those things. I don't know if it was so muddied that the United States don't want to move forward, but there's something else going on, and we need to keep an eye on that, just like we need to keep an eye on these people. And I do want to say their names because we deserve to know them. To Darius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Desmond Mills Jr., Emmett Martin III, and Justin Smith, excuse me. We know that they were dismissed from the Memphis Police Department, and that the Memphis Police Department, as late as yesterday, are still making charges and punishing those around it. I think there was 2 or 3 other men who showed up to the scene of the beating and then left while these men were doing what they were doing. So they're still bringing people in and, you know, exposing ill deeds around the death of Tyree Nichols. So either way, you guys, I wanted to know your thoughts on that. So I'm going to keep an eye on this case as well as everything else and bring it to you guys. You let me know how you feel about it in the comments because what you think and say sparks other conversations and other videos. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and your notification bell. Of course, comment, and I will catch you all on the next one.